members. We have Honorable Karungi Annette Umane MP Kabarole. We have Honorable Tracy J. Anthony Isingiro West. We have Honorable Katoto Sylvia Umane MP Chibuku. We have Honorable Goire Moses Budaka County. We have Honorable Arinaitwe Sylvia Umane MP Ruchiga. We have Honorable Ntabazi Harriet from Bwamba County. You're almost welcome. In the VIP gallery also, we have the former Member of Parliament and the Secretary General of Uganda People's Congress, Honorable Bill Fred. They are all here to witness the proceedings. Yes, Honorable Semujo.
I think, Madam Speaker, people who are seated next to my brother, the Honorable Musasizi, you will need to apply a speed meter. Right now, we are still debating the motion to suspend the rules. For the third time, he's going to elaborate on what is in the schedule. And I want Madam Speaker to concentrate on the motion moved by the Honorable Fox Odoi. Appropriation is one of the key functions of Parliament. If you look at Section 12 of the Public Finance Management Act, we are required, before we authorize government to spend money, to look at their procurement plans, to look at work plan, and the cash flow. That is a matter of law that the Honorable Fox Odoi, you cannot suspend. Because that suspension means that you are also suspending the requirement under Section 12 of the Public Finance Management Act. And the reason is that you are going to spend people's money. Their representative must look at the work plan, procurement plan, and cash flow. I don't want to accuse you of also, Honorable Fox, of leading.
Honorable Semuju, Section 12 is on the annual budget. We are talking about a supplementary.
I agree, Madam Speaker, supplementary is part of the budget because we are supplementing the budget, not something else. So the point I make, Madam Speaker, there is absolutely no way this Parliament seated here will look at procurement plans, will look at work plan and cash flow, and then authorize government to go and spend money. The Minister, and I want to thank him, he said you already have money for the swearing in ceremony, you want more. That's the very reason why the Public Finance Management Act was made, for us to look at the money that we gave you, if it's not enough, and we do that by looking at the procurement, we look at the work plan, and then authorize you. But for you to come here and blindfold all the MPs and say there is a swearing in ceremony, because being in hurry does not absolve you of the responsibility of following the law. Because you are in hurry, so you are absolved. You are not. So I want to hear the Honorable Fox Odoi, a lawyer, telling us whether you can also suspend the requirements of the Public Finance Management Act. If there is a provision in any law allowing you to suspend the law, then we can deal with the rules. So, right, Honorable, I'll ask you later to speak as Shadow Finance Minister. I am now debating like any ordinary MP, and I am opposed to this motion of Fox Odoi that is taking our responsibility of Parliament from scrutinizing requests from government.
Honorable Fox Odoi is only seeking for the House to allow him suspend. And you know how this can be approved. We shall put a question. But meanwhile, the Prime Minister, Vice President, and Prime Minister, you're all welcome for this session, as we also prepare for our last supper. Honorable members, Honorable members, I am putting a question that Rule 160, Sub-Rule 3, 4, and 5 be suspended to enable direct consideration of the supplementary expenditure schedule number 5 for financial year 2025-2026 by the House without referral to the Budget Committee and relevant sectoral committees. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put a question that the supplementary expenditure schedule number 5 for financial year 2025-2026 be approved by this House. Honorable members, we are approving the schedule, then we go to supply. Honorable members, just a minute. He moved the motion. Honorable Kema, Mr. Kema moved the motion. Mr. Kema moved the motion. I mean, he read and then when he's going to justify it. So, Honorable Minister, after the suspension, you justify. Can we first get a justification? No. Can we have a justification? Okay, I read the item on moving the motion.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, Section 24 of the Public Finance Management Act states that the total supplementary expenditure that requires additional resources over and above what is approved by Parliament shall not exceed 3% of the total approved budget for that financial year without approval of Parliament. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, you will recall that Parliament approved supplementary expenditure schedules number 1, 2, 3, and 4 for financial year 2025-2026 as follows. Schedule 1, under 3%, 1,652.29 billion. Schedule 2, still under 3. Schedule 2 for roads above 3%, 1,696 billion. 3, supplementary schedule 3 above 3%, 4,776.11 billion. 4, supplementary schedule 4, transfer to NFA budget following rationalization, 22 billion. Totaling to 8,126.4 billion. Madam Speaker, subsequently, Cabinet approved supplementary expenditure schedule number 5 as follows. Within 3%, 519.002 billion. Above 3%, 586.161 billion. Totaling to 1% 1,105,163,000,000. Right Honorable Speaker, this supplementary will be financed as follows. 1. Budgetary allocation 40.21 billion. Additional tax revenue stroke local revenue 6.25 billion. Additional external financing 72.90 billion. Reallocation efficiency in budget execution and cash management 985.80 billion. Madam Speaker, I now go into vote by vote. Madam Speaker, we will spend this supplementary under the following votes.
Honorable members, as you're near the switches, please don't switch off our light.
Number 1, vote 002, State House. Uganda shillings 300 billion to cater for classified expenditures. 2, vote 010, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Uganda shillings 3.8 billion to operationalize Kapeka Farm Service Center. 3, vote 144, Uganda Police Force, Uganda shillings 110.41 billion to finance additional security interventions and emerging contractual obligations owing to the 2026 general elections. This ensured peaceful general elections, as you should have all witnessed. Vote 017, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, Uganda shillings 24.850 billion for partial payment for government acquisition of the Electromax 50 megawatt power plant in Tororo. This will enable government to commence the implementation of its energy policy mix that necessitates a 10% generation capacity from thermal power. Vote 126, National Information Technologies Authority, Uganda shillings 21.966 billion. This is additional financing for internet services under the National Information Technology Authority. This situation arose out of increase in internet usage during the financial year by MDAs and local governments following implementation of last mile connectivity. Vote 142, National Agricultural Research Organization, NARO, Uganda shillings 20 billion. This is to cover operational shortfalls realized during the ongoing rollout of the antique vaccine. The shortfalls are for purchase of reagents, packaging materials, and recruitment of additional staff. Vote 015, Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Uganda shillings 37.90 billion for capitalization of Uganda Development Corporation as an additional investment in Achak Sugar Factory. The second category is self-financing and budget-neutral supplementary requests over and above 3% legal limit, which require prior approval by Cabinet and Parliament, of a total of 586.16 billion for supplementary expenditure Schedule 5 that is above 3% legal limit. A total of 123.03 billion is self-financing and thus budget neutral. The self-financing stroke budget neutral supplementary includes the following: reallocation of Uganda shillings 40.21 billion to cater for additional wage, for recruitment of health workers under 19 referral hospitals. Honorable colleagues, there is a need to allocate wage of Uganda shillings 40.21 billion, currently budgeted for under Ministry of Health, to 19 referral hospitals. This is required to cater for recruitment and absorption of critical health workers that were previously being supported. Workers that were previously supporting these hospitals before suspension of USAID funding for essential health services. The beneficial referral hospitals are the following: Butabika Hospital, Arua Hospital, Fort Portal Hospital, Guru Hospital, Hoima Hospital, Jinja Hospital, Kawale Hospital, Masaka Hospital, Mbale Hospital, Sorot Hospital, Lira Hospital, Mbara Regional Referral Hospital, Mubende Regional Referral Hospital, Moroto Regional Referral Hospital, Naguru National Referral Hospital, Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital, Murago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital, Kayunga Referral Hospital, and Yumbe Referral Hospital. Number 2, Uganda shillings 9.92 billion for various local governments, which are also detailed in the annex. 1, Uganda shillings 1.44 billion as unspent balances under the Uganda Intergovernmental Fiscal Transfer Program UGIFT that were returned to the Uganda Consolidated Fund at the end of financial year 2024-2025. This funding is required to enable the local governments meet their outstanding contractual obligations under the program for this year. 2, Uganda shillings 2.22 billion for the Uganda support to municipal infrastructure development USMAID project as unspent balances that were returned to the Uganda Consolidated Fund at the end of financial year 2024-2025. This funding is required to enable the local governments meet their contractual obligations and avoid.
Right Honourable Speaker, when you began in your communication at the beginning of the session, you did say, and I applauded you, that even as we exit, we must leave this parliament and the nation clean. Having lost in our attempt to block this supplementary, and pure as a Ugandan, I concede that we lost on that. What I do not concede to is that we have also lost the duty to scrutinize the documents. With the background I have given and the need to do the job you have called upon us to do, may I move that you find pleasure in suspending the proceedings for at least 15 minutes for us to be able to access the documents and follow the proceedings properly so that we support what we know.
Members, don't you have the report?
We don't.
You have the report? The document is online, it was uploaded.
No.
You know, I gave all of you iPads, and I know my dad here gave it to my little brother. So I actually gave my stepmother. So check what is on the iPad. Can you continue?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, Uganda shillings 6.25 billion.
Honourable members, let's listen to this. These monies are going to hospitals. We are the ones who have been complaining hospitals don't have workers. And we are here. You're wasting. By the way, let me tell you, if you think you're going to waste my time for us not to finish, we shall finish. We are here to finish. I know my sister is not used to finishing, but today she will finish. Yes. Go ahead.
The noise is too much. Madam Speaker.
Order.
Madam Speaker, under this category, we have 6.25 billion to cater for the additional local revenue collected by local government votes over and above their respective appropriated budget.
By the way, I was joking on my sister. Yes.
And Madam Speaker, the local governments are the following: Tese District, Chikube District, Koboko District, Chejegwa District, Chenjojo District, Chotera District, Mbarara District, Mitoma District, Moroto District, Nakapiripiriti District, Nakasongora District, Namisindwa District, Obonge District, Palisa District, Rwanda District, Rubirizi District, Ruchiga District, Sironko District, Tororo District, among others. I can finish all. Madam Speaker, we have also provided for Uganda shillings 72.9 billion as additional disbursement by the World Bank for generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises GROW project. The World Bank approved and disbursed additional funds for generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises project. These funds have to be utilized, or else the grant will be cancelled at the end of this financial year. Madam Speaker, I now come to the supplemental expenditures, which are above 3% legal limit that require additional financing. And the total is 463.15 billion, and the particulars are as follows. Uganda shillings, Madam Speaker, Uganda shillings 56.95 billion for LC1, LC2, and Women Council Committee elections countrywide as directed by Cabinet. These funds are required to support the Electoral Commission to fully implement the electoral roadmap as already approved by Cabinet. Number 2, Uganda shillings 29.57 billion for AFCON 2027 preparatory activities. Honorable members, Cabinet directed that we fully fund AFCON 2027, beginning with immediate requirement in this financial year 2025-2026. These funds are required to implement the urgent preparatory works, reduce implementation risk, and keep the overall AFCON 2027 preparation program on schedule. The activities include the following. 1, Uganda shillings 14.1 billion for preliminary works at Kabalega International Airport. This one will go to Ministry of Works. 2, Uganda shillings 8.03 billion for priority road works and associated support activities in Chira Municipal Council. 3, Uganda shillings 3.06 billion for pitch improvement at Kadiba Football Stadium. 4, Uganda shillings 0.31 billion for branding of host cities and content production for the Destination Uganda documentary. 5. Uganda shillings 1.17 billion for Hoima City and Masindi Municipality to finance sanitation and road safety interventions. 6. Uganda shillings 1.02 billion for meteorological and aviation safety support system. 7. Uganda shillings 1.8 billion for water utility preparatory works for the Hoima cluster. Madam Speaker, we also require Uganda shillings 132.9 billion for outstanding obligations under Uganda Police Force. These obligations resulted from outstanding allowances and feeding expenses for special police constables hired during the general elections and contractual obligations for procurement of the 324 troop carriers. 2. Uganda shillings 23.21 billion as counterpart funding for wage to operationalize the newly constructed seed schools under the World Bank Uganda Intergovernmental Fiscal Transfer UGIFT program. And the details are provided in the annex. 5. Uganda shillings 107.52 billion for wage, pension, and gratuity shortfalls resulting from in-year salary enhancement undertaken by the Ministry of Public Service. 6. Uganda shillings 110 billion to cater for classified expenditures under Vote 002 State House. And 7. Uganda shillings 3 billion to cater for budget shortfalls for the swearing in and inaugural ceremony of the President-elect 2026, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, under Vote 001, Office of the President. Madam Speaker, I had already earlier mentioned how this supplementary will be financed. I now conclude as follows. Honorable colleagues, given the critical nature of these expenditures requirements, I pray that you consider and pass this supplementary to enable government meet these requirements as we come to close of the financial year, and all of them cannot wait for the new financial year. I beg to move for the House's consideration.
Thank you,
Right,
thank you,
Honorable
Honorable Musasizi. Also in the VIP gallery we have Honorable Kitty Peter from Tow County, Buko. We have Honorable Atuhairaire Arthur Kazora from Ruhinda. You're most welcome. Thank you for coming. Yes, you've heard the supplementary that a shadow.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First of all, from what the Minister has read, in my opinion, nothing qualifies to be an emergency. But I want to begin by thanking NRM Whip for the good mobilization. There are colleagues I have not seen for more than a year. I want to thank them.
Honorable members, all these members of parliament have been coming here. Unless you're telling me you've been half blind. Leave my members of parliament, they have been coming to the house.
Madam Speaker, I agree. When we are processing the budget, all these seats were empty. But I want to thank them. I am only fearing, because last time when SFC invaded us, they were standing like many of those NRM MPs in the corners.
Honorable.
So can I now
No,
move to the
Honorable.
motion? Yes.
Honorable, I have told you the members of parliament are elected to be in this house. So when you say that you've not been seeing these members of parliament, that is an insult to yourselves.
And I am sorry, Madam Speaker, I didn't mean to offend anyone. But if there are colleagues who have come for voting, Madam, you can ask them to excuse themselves. We need some air. These ones who are standing everywhere, they will be notified that voting has started.
Can you bring? There is an order. There is an order.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Is my senior friend and brother, Semuju, in order to begin calling us SFC like you do not know us. You have been seeing us in this house. And then you are there saying you want fresh air. So you are going to get out, I sit where you are seated. Because I'm respecting you to sit while you talk, and I'm here. So the order is Semuju in order to begin calling us SFCs when he knows that we are members of parliament, really. And then you want fresh air. You go out, we sit where you sit.
But Honorable Semuju, for me I have enough fresh air. If you're squeezed there, just bring your seat next to me. Come and sit next to me. Because to the best of my knowledge, this place is very high. The hair here is good enough for everybody. And nobody who is standing here is an SFC. Why do you
Madam
talk
Speaker,
about SFC?
I was just sympathetic. If they don't care, they can continue standing, and I withdraw. I was just sympathetic to them. But the motion, Madam Speaker, we have just considered the budget. In the budget, Madam Speaker, this government did not provide 4 billion for the National Curriculum Development Center to complete the new syllabus, especially for our children in senior 6 who are going to sit for exams. They never had 4 billion in the budget we have just finished. They also denied UNEB 80 billion to train teachers who are going to mark senior 6, the first group that is going to sit under a new curriculum. And in their mind, they have money to organize a ceremony. Because the president can be sworn in. When he captured the power, he was sworn in here at the staircases of parliament. And the sun rose and said, but you have children, 100,000. They are going to sit for exams. You did not find 2 billion for National Curriculum Development Center to complete their 34 subjects. You never gave UNEB 80 billion for them to train teachers to go and mark these children. And you have brought here money that we are going to have a ceremony, just eating. I don't know what's wrong with NRM people. So that you can deny our children an opportunity to study, and then you bring money here for eating. You should be ashamed of yourself. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Semuju now wants to go beyond his appropriation law to now budget execution. Madam Speaker, in the budget we passed, all those votes he's mentioning were appropriated money for. Yes. And what is...
Honourable members, why are you shouting like we're in National
They were
Theatre?
appropriated for, but Madam Speaker, the common practice, which all colleagues know, that every vote comes to this House with unfunded priorities. So he's just taking us to the list of unfunded priorities, which is a wish list. There is what you want and what we can provide. and we were satisfied that what we provided is sufficient to make the votes run through the year. If there is anything along the way that we didn't provide for, if something occurs during implementation of the budget, we shall now come back here and ask for the money.
Honourable members, it is this same government that brought the new curriculum, and it is to the best interest of government to ensure that the new curriculum is implemented. Can I hear from the Prime Minister? Let me hear from Lob first before.
Madam Speaker, you see, there is a reason why our laws are to a great extent very clear. The Public Finance Management Act provides for supplementaries. They are within the law. But there is a coding, there is a justification for supplementary budget. Unforeseeables. I am struggling, really struggling, to understand how unforeseeable some of these things are, in all honesty. That we have got to do it in a haste. You said this is our last supper, our last sitting, you said. So I
did not say that.
You used the words last supper, Madam Speaker. I don't know what you meant. But you used it twice. Anyhow, Madam Speaker, we are closing down as Parliament, and we seem to be in a haste to appropriate money for what we are saying is unforeseeable. I am struggling to understand how unforeseeable some of these things are. We've talked about the inaugural ceremony. There is money for ATIAC, Right Honourable Speaker, 37.9 billion. We have been here and we have screamed our voices hoarse about projects like ATIAC. There is another one, Day by a Farmer.
Honourable Musasi, I want you to listen on ATIAC.
Madam Prime Minister, don't interrupt Honourable Musasi. He needs to listen to these critical issues. We have talked about Day by a Farmer, which was given free money, 778 billion. Money was given to Inspire Africa Coffee Factory in Tungamo, 180 billion plus. Rocco, 260 billion shillings plus. Of course, there's Lubowa Specialized Hospital, which has become a white elephant. We then talked about ATIAC Sugar Factory. So far, 668 billion shillings over the years to ATIAC Sugar Factory. It's a factory I went to visit with colleagues. And there is no sugar coming out of there for the last couple of years. But every year we keep appropriating money. Now we're even bringing money through a supplementary for ATIAC Sugar Factory. Help me understand. Who is this ATIAC person that we have got to keep giving them money, billions of shillings on an annual basis, that now it even has to come through a supplementary, that it is an emergency? Right, Honourable Speaker, to the taxpayers who are watching us, we could be seen as conduits of fraud. Fraud is when you are paid for a service and you don't deliver it. You have given 668 billion shillings so far to ATIAC. No sugar is coming out of there, and this is free money. You want to add them money. For what? I don't understand.
Thank you.
Right, Honourable Speaker, the classified that's indicated here, within the 3% legal limit, 300 billion. Outside the 3%, 110 billion. That's a total of 410 billion shillings. Look, every country will have a classified budget. But you see, your classified budget has got to be tethered to your revenue. You cannot be a heavily indebted poor country and you keep having trillions of classified budget. Now you have a supplementary for classified 410 billion shillings. A few days to the closure of government. What are you going to do in these few days for this classified of 410 billion shillings? Honourable Speaker, yes, our rules can be suspended and all of that, but these things should make sense to the taxpayer. They should make sense. Now, the taxpayer might try and understand you on the hospitals and so on, and hopefully that money will go to the hospitals. Because many times we pass money for some of these things and it is fired. When you read the accountability reports, you see money was transferred from this and taken to something else. So hopefully for the hospital money, it gets to do that. But help the taxpayer to understand this 410 classified budget billion. For a few days, government is closing down. Billions to Atiak sugar factory that you've been giving money. Nothing is happening there. I want to understand, Honorable Speaker. I genuinely want to understand from Prime Minister and her team. Help me and the taxpayer whom you're going to squeeze a lot more. You recently passed here more money, higher taxes on fuel and so on. So the taxpayer is paying for these things. Help the taxpayer to understand.
Thank you.
We are
Thank
waiting.
you. Thank you. Honorable Musasizi.
Madam Speaker, I wish to clarify on the issue of 3% and above 3%. Madam Speaker, this schedule, I have justified it in 3 categories. We have expenditures which are within the 3% legal limit, amounting to 519 billion. And here, Madam Speaker, we have already spent. We have come here to seek for retrospective approval of the schedule. And this is where Atiak Sugar falls, in the 3% which we have already spent. Then we have a schedule that is budget neutral. Then we have this one, which requires additional financing, where we need authority of parliament to spend, amounting to 586.16 billion. Madam Speaker, in as far as the details of what we are doing under Atiak Sugar is concerned, in the interest of synergy, I want to, with your indulgence, the Ministry of Trade can respond to the specific activities which...
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and colleagues. As all of you know, Atiak Sugar Factory is a project that is supported by government to transform the economy of northern Uganda. Many of you who come from northern Uganda know how important that project will be. Madam Speaker, we have funded Atiak Sugar Factory to do a number of activities. One is irrigation, and Atiak Sugar Factory is finishing up the irrigation system to help guard the changing weather so that there is proper production of the sugar cane. As we speak, Madam Speaker, I know members are very much concerned with when will the sugar from Atiak Sugar Factory be put on the market. I have good news for you. Atiak Sugar Factory will start producing sugar in the month of September this year. The irrigation has ended. 2026 will have sugar. So we should be able to support this sugar factory so that we have the factory running in September 2026.
Let's hear from the chairman of Acholi Parliamentary Group.
Right, Honorable Speaker. As a matter of truth, the people of Uganda, including myself, has been complaining a lot about Atiak Sugar Works. What Ugandans want to see is the sugar. But unfortunately, the production started in Atiak Sugar Works. But the sugar cane that was planted got finished within a very short period. And therefore, from that point, Honorable Speaker, can I get protection, please?
Members, can you listen to Honorable Akol? Honorable Akol?
Right, Honorable Speaker, from that point, production stopped. And what was resumed in the place was that at the time when we got the equipment for working on the garden, there is a lot of plantation that has been taking place, including irrigation. It is fortunate that some people among us here have reached the place. I personally visited Atiak. What I want us, including myself, who is also complaining, we need to be patient now and wait for the production to start. I am happy that as the Ministry of Trade, they have taken more steps to make sure that the money which is given in Atiak Sugar, some of the money will be paid back to the government, including taking some of the property of Atiak Sugar Works. And I must thank the Minister for doing that. Very soon, I think some of the property will become the property of offices of the members of parliament, even here. So for that matter, what I can assure you, Right Honorable Speaker, is that there is a lot of progress and production is going to start. That is all I can say. Thank you.
There is a procedure from Yonna.
Madam Speaker, thank you. I'm raising a point of procedure. The motion by Honorable Fox Odoi was carried in this House to the extent that instead of the minister being referred to the relevant committee, now the committee of the whole House is proceeding, not debating, is proceeding to interrogate the minister. And my question, where I require you to guide, at what point do you anticipate members of parliament to ask of the minister documents? At what point, for example, does the minister report to us that a resolution of this House, where you, Madam Speaker, you were presiding, had identified loopholes in corporate governance in Atiak? Government, which is a majority shareholder there, has put way more money than what the company should have done. At what point are we going to satisfy ourselves that the figures attached and are being requested of us to approve has been answered by the minister? Even on the LC1 elections and LC2, it is not enough to come and say I need 66 billion for LC1, LC2. We need to see the list of all the villages attached, so that every member here can be sure that in my village I will not go back and they are going to ask me questions why village A is missing from the national list, and even 2. On the issue of the police, there is a figure here, Madam Speaker, of 56 billion. And the request is for reimbursement of police, special police constables. I can tell you, in Lira, and I think in many parts of the country, the special police constables have not been paid for the services they gave. And here the figure is saying reimbursement. Reimbursement presupposes that you had picked money from somewhere and paid them, but they were not paid for the work they offered. So at what point do we satisfy ourselves that actually this ministry had paid? So in terms of procedure, I'm asking you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Dur. One, we are at the budgeting processing stage for us to approve this money to go to be approved as a supplementary. On the issues of accountability, we have accountability committees that verify what this man has gone to do. For instance, this goes to Kosase, that has been managed by Honorable Segona. So it is Honorable Segona to tell us in his report that is going to bring whether the money is being used in a proper way or not. Yes, Lob.
Honourable Speaker, I seek your procedural indulgence. We were here a couple of months ago, and I was giving a report to this House about a Tiak sugar factory, which we give billions, no sugar coming out of there, Day by a Farmer, Inspire Africa Coffee, Rocco, and so on. The response by government was that we have acquired stake in a number of these entities. I then asked, where are the share certificates? Where are the valuation reports? Government conceded that for some of these, valuation had not happened. Honourable Speaker, I remember when money was being passed for Day by a Farmer, 723 billion at the time. We asked government, they said they had not carried out valuation. So we said, what stake are you buying if you don't know the value? You guided, Right Honourable Speaker, and you remember I disagreed with you. You said, let's pass the money. Then, government will hold that money before dispatching it to the entity, to the private company, until they do valuation. And you said they will bring the valuation report here before the money is dispatched. They have never brought that report. And I told you, once we have appropriated that money, we become functus official. The Attorney General of Uganda, the Honorable Chiriowa Chiwanuka Nsumikambi Mugambe, promised on this floor, on the Hansard, that he will come to this House and table share certificates and table valuation reports for these companies. That has never happened. But government keeps coming back for more money. What are we funding? Because when you say we have got stake, we are shareholders as government in each of these companies, where is the evidence? But also, before you acquire stake, you first do valuation. Good business people know that before you inject your money in a business to say, I'm buying, let's say 30%, what is that 30% worth? That's when you do valuation, and then you know, I am buying this much stake. These people lied to us because they have never produced those certificates. They've never produced the valuation report. So they told us a lie. Why then do you keep coming back for more money? You don't want to be transparent. Because what we want to know, you are asking us to appropriate money to what? We want that accountability. By the way, it's not even enough, Right Honourable Speaker, that sugar begins to come out of Atiak in September. As sure as day follows night, it's not going to happen. Because every year they keep promising us. But let's even say it comes out. The taxpayer is asking, what is my stake? Forget that sugar will come out of that private entity. What is the stake? Why don't you want to respond to these questions? But you want to keep coming, asking us for more money and all of that. No, we should not proceed this way, Right Honourable Speaker, in my view.
AJ.
Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the leader of opposition for his very loud submission. I'm a first time here. Loud, I heard him clearly. That's what loud means. I am a first time member of parliament like him, and I've since learned how things are brought to parliament. Normally, entities of government, where government has invested, there is an audit act. So we send the Auditor General who reports to parliament on what has been found. I was advised that we don't just drop documents on the floor of yes, and I'm telling you, I was advised. So, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable colleagues, I would want to imagine that all the money that was audited, the Auditor General can give a report on that.
Ed, he has finished. You're putting order on him.
Madam Speaker.
He has finished.
Madam Speaker, under the Constitution.
He finished.
No, he gave. He's my good friend. He's my good friend.
He finished.
Under Article.
Honourable members.
This is the Chief Advisor to Government.
Honourable members. Honourable members. I now put a question that the supplementary expenditure schedule number 5 for financial year 2025-2026 be approved by this House. Those in favour say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
The Committee of Supply.
Honorable members, kindly sit. My son, Francis.
Total recurrent expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 5 for the financial year 2025-2026.
Honorable members, I propose a question that a total sum of Uganda shillings 894 billion 548 million 183,558 shillings be approved as a total recurrent expenditure under the supplementary expenditure schedule number 5 for financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put a question that a total sum of Uganda shillings 894 billion 548 million 183,558 shillings be approved as a total recurrent expenditure under the supplementary expenditure number 5 for financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Total development expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 5 for the financial year 2025-2026.
Can I have order? Can I have order? Honorable members, I propose a question that the total sum of Uganda shillings 210 billion 614 million 540,809 shillings be approved as a total development expenditure and a supplementary expenditure schedule number 5 for financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put a question that a total sum of Uganda shillings 210 billion 614 million 540,809 shillings be approved as a total development expenditure under the supplementary expenditure budget schedule number 5 for financial year 2025-2026. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Grand total supplementary expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 5 for the financial year 2025-2026.
Honorable members, I am going to miss some of you so much in the 12th Parliament. You're such amazing guys, eh? Honorable members, I propose a question that a grand total sum of Uganda shillings 1,105 billion 162 million 724,367 shillings be approved as a grand total under supplementary expenditure schedule number 5 for 2025-2026 under the various votes that were deliberated or mentioned by the Minister of Finance and under the votes that are in the schedule. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put a question that a grand total sum of Uganda shillings 1,500,162,724,367 shillings be approved as a grand total supplementary expenditure and a supplementary expenditure schedule for number 5 for financial year 2025-2026 for the various votes that are in the schedule. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for the House to resume.
Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Chair, I beg to move a motion for the House to resume and the Committee of Supply reports thereto.
I put a question that the House resumes and the Committee of Supply reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Stand up. Please sit. Please sit.
Report of the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, I beg to report that the Committee of Supply has considered the supplementary schedule number 5 for financial year 2025-2026 amounting to Uganda shillings 1,352,724,367 shillings and passed it without amendments.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move a motion that the report from the Committee of Supply for schedule number 5 of financial year 2025-2026 be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted by this House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Honorable member, thank you. I will instruct the clerk to capture the details and supply it to finance. Next item.
Order paper. Bill second reading. The Protection of Sovereignty Bill 2026.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, you recall that on Wednesday 15th, 2026, the Minister of Internal Affairs tabled the protection of Sovereignty Bill 2026 for the first reading. Pursuant to Rule 135 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, the bill was referred to a joint committee of Defense and Internal Affairs and Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. The committee has concluded the consideration of the bill and is ready to report. And pursuant to Rule 136(1) of the Rules of Procedure, I will invite the Minister to move his motion for the second reading before your issue. Please. Honorable, let him first move, then I will give you to bring your issue. Okay?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the bill you have invited this House to consider is a government bill. I saw a tweet by the head of government and a letter signed by retired General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa.
Sabalwanyi.
That's not part of the names. So, in his letter, Right Honorable Speaker, he actually disowned.
Lob, is it in his letter?
Yes.
Can I
Let
have
me
a
submit, Right Honorable.
No, I want us to talk with evidence. Can we lay the letter on table?
I came prepared, Madam Speaker. Here is a copy of the letter. I am tabling it.
I have never seen a letter from State House in white.
Madam Speaker, this is a copy of the letter, and I am tabling it. Normally we table documents, then they can be processed and authenticated and so on. But let me raise the point I was raising, Madam Speaker. In this letter, he disowned the bill that was tabled by the Minister of State for Internal Affairs. In fact, he was appalled, wondering what it is that we were debating. Also, what bothered me, Madam Speaker, in his letter he said he called the two chairpersons of committees regarding this bill. I don't know how procedurally that gets to be correct, that now the executive gets to meddle directly, because it should be you, Madam Speaker, to call chairpersons of committees, guide them and so on. But if they are getting guidance from the executive, clauses in the bill. For all intents and purposes, Madam Speaker and colleagues, this was now a new bill. For all intents and purposes. And by the way, there is precedents that have been set by this House, even in the previous Parliament, where...
Honourable members, I want you to listen to Lob. Lob is saying after...
Let me actually say what I am saying. I'm glad you are protecting me from some noisy colleagues.
This becomes a new bill. What I would only ask, did the new bill change the objective of the old bill? You continue.
Madam Speaker, and I'm glad you're asking that question, because the entire foundation of the bill was torn apart, and no wonder the initiator...
There's a procedure.
But I rose procedurally, Madam Speaker.
No, I gave
procedure cannot counter procedure.
No, I gave you space to speak.
But I raised...
Is a yes and order.
An order cannot...
My attention. I am the one processing the bills here. So if he sent it for public, and if he called the chairpersons, he's one of the Ugandans whom we should consult.
Madam Speaker, I'm glad you're saying you were not informed, and that's part of the problem I'm raising. Why was this House not informed? Especially because majority of the clauses were amended. Madam Speaker, please protect me from noisy colleagues. You always tell us that this is not a market.
Colleagues, please let the Honourable Lob finish. Let Honourable Lob finish his submission. No. Honorable members, let's be calm. I am the custodian of the law here. I don't have a new law. I don't have a new bill. So after Honorable has finished, I will ask the minister to move his bill. You finish.
Thank you. So as I was saying, this is me saying, and you will rule and guide. For all intents and purposes, as far as I am concerned, this then became a new bill because majority of the clauses in the bill were changed. And there is precedents where ministers have been told, no, those so many amendments, just withdraw the bill and reintroduce it perhaps. What the Minister for Internal Affairs and Attorney General should have done was to withdraw this bill.
Honorable Love, my
But Madam Speaker, you're not even allowing me to submit.
Honorable
Let
Love,
me submit. You're the one going to rule.
please, Honorable Love, my brother. Honorable Love. Honorable Love. Honorable Love. Can I have order? Can I have order? We have now started debating in anticipation. We don't know what the bill is. When the minister moves his bill, that's when we can reject. Huh? Please make my work easy. No, you leave Honorable Love to finish. Switch on.
Madam Speaker, actually I am seeking to make your work easier. Really, if you capture what it is that I'm saying, because they are moving it for the second time. And for me, what I was saying is you should have been moving to withdraw the bill. That's my opinion. And you're going to give your ruling, Madam Speaker. So no, but they called for reading of the bill for second and third reading.
Okay.
So let me finish the issue that for me I am raising.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, also, stakeholders...
What is the procedural matter that you are raising now?
So, the procedural matter I'm raising is, shouldn't the Minister of Internal Affairs be withdrawing his bill, and then he goes back for consultation?
Can I answer that first? Can I answer that first? Maybe it will form your second question. That the Minister of Internal Affairs should be moving his motion for the second reading. Because as far as I know, I have not been given another motion. I only have one motion. So you will move your second motion for the second reading.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I'm glad on record you have said you were not notified of a second one. That's something we are going to interrogate because, like I'm saying, as far as some of us are concerned, it's a second one. Right, Honorable Speaker, the committee report to this bill here leaked and it is in the public domain. It was first shared on our parliament platforms, media houses have shared it, it is all over. Honorable Speaker, on 18th of January 2023, you were seated in the chair you're seated in, and I was standing on this very microphone. I was chairperson of COSASE. I rose to present a committee report for COSASE on Uganda Airlines. And you said, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to quote you verbatim what was on the Hansard. You said, there was a leakage of the Uganda Airlines report. A property of this parliament cannot leak, and we continue debating on it. Those were your exact words captured on the Hansard. Honorable Speaker, this report has leaked. So, given that precedent which you said, are we going to go ahead and debate this leaked report?
Thank you.
Because the precedent was set by yourself. We hope to be ready.
First of all, honorable members, in the VIP gallery, I want to introduce Honorable Namlondo Sara, MP-elect from Buyende. You're most welcome. Honorable Naku Fiona, the elect for workers, Most welcome, Fiona Naku. And then we have Honorable Sewagude Robert, representing people with disability, national. You're also most welcome. I have Honorable Matembe, Miriam, and Honorable Emily Otekat. Honorable members, I want to refer you to Rule 14. The report of the Committee on Bills shall, and I'm saying shall, be uploaded on the Parliamentary Information System. The report is laid on table. That is 214.14a. This report that was uploaded had my signature. I even said, please place it on the order paper with my very able signature. The report of airlines that got out did not have my signature. I am the only one who can sanction a document to be uploaded, which I did, so the report was not leaked out. Can you move your motion?
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, in keeping with Rule 130 of the Rules of Procedure of this Parliament, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Protection of Sovereignty Bill 2026 be read the second time.
Seconded by the Vice President of Republic of Uganda, Honorable Jessica Alupo, retired. Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Nabanja Robina, Honorable Second Hajat, third Government Chief Whip, Minister of Defense, Minister of the Security, Minister of ICT, Minister of Finance, Minister of Works, Minister of Sports, and the Hollow House on this side. And part of that house, part of the other side, including Chemongesi, Rogomayo. Thank you. Would you want to speak to your motion?
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members,
can I first have a justification before you bring the procedure?
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the object of this bill is that the country faces a number of challenges which threaten our ability to self-govern in the absence of a sovereignty-specific law which this law seeks to address. And these include preventing undue external influence, regulating foreign funding, safeguarding national security, filling legal gaps, and managing digital misinformation. I beg to move, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, I want to provide some guidance in this. Honorable members, the chairpersons of the committees have prepared the report, and I wish to guide as follows. From the time the bill was tabled for the first, there has been a very remarkable public interest in it. A review of the committee report reveals that more than 60 witnesses were accorded opportunity to present their views on the bill, including persons and institutions. These answers and questions on whether there was sufficient public consultation or not, I commend the committee for upholding our cardinal principle of public participation. 2, there was a considerable debate on the content of the bill, notably the definition of the word foreigner, the scope of application of this bill, the regulatory prudence envisaged in administration and functions, the proposed penalties, the criminal offenses, regulations of foreign policies, registration of agents of foreigners, declaration of foreign funding, and ministerial powers, among others. I have reviewed the report. The committee has established that the contentious matters have been exhaustively handled and addressed as per the public interest. The definition of a foreigner, for instance, was initially brought in a way that was not appealing to the people, but the committee has handled. Now I want members, there's no procedure, I'm giving you guidance. I know I'm touching on your minorities. Honorable members, I am giving 30 minutes for the major report to be presented, and I am saying 30 minutes. Where is the chair? And I will also give, I am aware that is a minority report. It doesn't matter whether minorities or minority. I am also giving the minority or minorities 30 minutes. If you have 10 minorities, you'll divide 30 minutes by 10 and you'll have 3. Honorable Chair, unanswered, I want timing. Let him read his report. Then you'll bring process. I don't want you to waste his time. Tebandeke, I know you want to exercise your law that you're learning now. You first wait. First wait. First wait. First wait. I have given you 30 minutes.
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, for the record, my name is Wilson Kajwenje, Member of Parliament, Nyabushozi Constituency, and Chairperson of Defense and Internal Affairs Committee. I'll be assisted by my colleague, the Honorable Baka Stephen Mugabi, Chairperson, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. May I take the honor to lay on the table the minutes of the committee, the joint committees, while processing and considering this report.
Thank
you, Honorable Speaker. I'll take the 30 minutes. Honorable Speaker, on Wednesday, 15th April 2026, the Protection of Sovereignty Bill 2026 was read for the first time under Rule 135(1) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. You referred to the joint committee made up of Committees of Defense and Internal Affairs and the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs for scrutiny, and we are now reporting under the same rule of procedure. Right Honorable Speaker, the joint committee here referred to as the committee has examined the bill, taking into account submissions from stakeholders and now presents this report. This report sets the committee's analysis of the bill's objectives, the key provisions, likely effects, together with a synthesis of stakeholder views and committee's recommendations to Parliament. The object of the bill. The object of the bill is to enact a law that seeks to provide for the protection of the sovereignty of the people of Uganda. 2, to designate the department responsible for peace and security and the responsible entity for the registration and regulation of agents of foreigners. 3, to provide for the protection of the sovereignty of Uganda and provide for the registration of agents of foreigners, and to regulate the funding and any other assistance to agents of foreigners and for the